If you think you know everything about full-size pickup trucks, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't. This is the 2016 Nissan Titan XD. It's basically a 5/8 truck. That's right. You've heard of half ton, you heard of 3/4 ton. Well, this is like a 5/8 ton. And the reason is because about 75,000 people every year are going back and forth between a half ton and a 3/4 ton. Nissan wants to capture that with the all-new Titan XD. In order to stand out of the crowd of the pickup truck market, you got to come with some differentiators, and Nissan has. This is the first time a 5-liter V8 Cummins turbo diesel has been used in a full-size truck. And we've been driving around all day. It's a lot of fun. 310 horsepower and 555 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an Aisin 6-speed automatic transmission that works great with the truck. Now, if you're thinking this is about fuel economy, it's not. Maybe 20, 21 miles per gallon on the highway. Where it really shines is when it's loaded up. It can tow almost 12,500 pounds, has about a 2,300 pound payload. So when you load this thing up, that's when it really, really shines, and you get about a 20% advantage over, let's just say, an F-150 with a V8. We actually did a towing test earlier, side by side, and it wasn't even close. The F-150 was struggling to keep up with the same payload, where this XD just blew right by it. Obviously, the interior has been completely revamped, and why not? It's been 12 years since they launched the first generation Titan. I like what they've done. The gauges are good. The information screen between the gauges, very vivid. One thing I don't like is this infotainment screen. Come on. This is a time when Ram has an 8.4-inch screen. This is a little over 6 inches, maybe pushing 7. It just feels a little outdated. I'd like to see Apple CarPlay in here. I'd like to see more technology in here. They've done a good job with number of USB ports, and overall the technology works. Screen's kind of small. Seats are extremely comfortable. These are the NASA-inspired zero-gravity seats, and you may think it's a gimmick, but it's not a gimmick. They work. They're great seats, and having spent several hundred miles in it now, I think they may be some of the best seats in the industry. Plenty of power. Love how it drives. We did some pretty rugged off-roading, considering most people aren't going to take these off-roading. Again, this is their off-road version, but they all have the same frame. This has the Bilstein shock, so definitely designed more for off-roading. But overall, a really interesting truck, and we'll have to see how the market accepts it. But I think it's certainly worthy of putting on people's shopping list. Another thing to mention is that they've increased the room. Not only is this a much bigger truck than the outgoing model, but they moved the shifter. They were the first truck to have a shifter down here in the center console. They've moved it back up here to the column, and that makes for a lot more room. You have a very integrated, very flexible console. You can put a 15-inch laptop here. So they've really thought about how people use their trucks, both inside and out, and it shows. Nissan claims to be the company that is innovative, and when it comes to the Titan, they are. They were innovative with the first Titan. The first Titan back in 2003 as an 04 model was the first full-size truck with over 300 horsepower. In this truck, they've taken innovation to a whole new level. This second row is impressive. So of course you can fold the seat down and you got room back here. Okay, a lot of trucks do that. You can even fold the seat up. But you also have this really cool feature where if you want to make this whole floor bed here flat, you can do that. You also have a lockable storage area so you can hide things away. Top of that, 8 cup holders in the back. That's right, I said 8. And of course you have a 120 volt and USB ports. This thing is just loaded with technology and innovation. A lot of storage areas for whatever you want. The Nissan guy said Atlas. Who still uses an Atlas? Well, I guess he does. But I like what they've done here. Let's face it, Nissan is the smallest full-size pickup truck player in the market, and they got to make some noise hopefully this XD will do that. That innovation theme carries through to the bed of the truck, one of the most important areas. Now, this is a big truck. It weighs about 7,200 pounds. This is a crew cab 4x4, and it can do a lot. Now, Nissan back in 2004 was the first truck to have these integrated rails, and now they've taken them to a whole nother level. Not only do you have them around the perimeter of the bed, which also has a spray-in bed liner. They were also the first back then to do that. What you have here now are these rails in the bed. So when you don't need them, you can hide them away. But when you need them, let's just say you're tying down a motorcycle, you want to compress the shock so it doesn't move. This lets you do that. Also, you see these 3 covers here. This is the first non-heavy duty truck on the market available with an integrated gooseneck. So a lot of innovation. I keep saying that, but I really like what Nissan has done. You're not going to have one of these fancy steps for the bumper or a little ladder. They didn't go that far, but they really kind of focused on how people who really use their trucks for towing and hauling can benefit from the new Titan XD. Very impressed with how quiet it is, how comfortable it is, and of course, you know, its capabilities. I like the steering. It's for circulating ball type steering as opposed to rack and pinion, so it's a little heavier than what most people are used to. I actually like that. Some people may not. If you're going to just drive on flat surfaces and not tow or haul, this is not the truck for you. If you're looking for this to be a competitor to a Ram EcoDiesel and get 29 miles per gallon on the highway, it's not going to do that. Where this shines, where this really becomes a benefit to the owner, is when you are exerting a force on it, when you are towing, when you are hauling, when you're using it the way it's meant to be used. So what's the bottom line on the Titan XD? I don't think it's going to set sales records, but it's also creating a brand new segment. I can tell you that the other 4 major truck companies, Ford, General Motors, Ram, and Toyota, are all looking to see how this performs, how the market is going to accept it. I think it does fit, you know, a certain niche. I think it's going to solve a problem for a lot of people who need a little more than a half, but not quite a 3/4, or vice versa. And ultimately, you guys are going to be the judge. After spending a full day with it, about 250 miles, I really enjoyed it. It rides great. They told us prior to driving it that it's going to have a very luxurious premium feel. That's why they've added this Platinum Reserve Edition. It's basically a luxury truck, but it's a luxury truck with serious capabilities. Again, over 2,000 pounds of payload, over 12,000 pounds of towing capabilities. Typical half-ton is closer to 9,000 to 10,000, so you can see you're getting about 20% more. That's really what this truck is. It's that 20% truck. It's 20% more than a half-ton, therefore that's why they call it a 5/8. I'm Ron Doran for The Driver's Seat. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.